A 17-year-old girl dreams she's standing in her school gym, watching a memorial service. Her memorial service. She sees her own photo, classmates crying, flowers everywhere. She wakes up shaken and writes it down in her journal. That morning, she jokes with her mom, "If I die today, it's in my dream book." Hours later, she's killed in a car crash. Same time, same road. Was it a coincidence, a premonition, or something far more mysterious? In this video, we're exploring the chilling world of dreams that predict death. Real stories, ancient beliefs, psychological theories, and paranormal explanations that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about your dreams. Let's start with stories from real people who experienced dreams so vivid, so terrifying, that they couldn't be ignored, and then came true. Case 1. The Girl in the Gym. This case was documented in the book, The Premonitions Bureau, and shared by her mother in interviews. The girl had dreamed of her own school, hosting a funeral service. She wrote it in her dream journal before heading out that morning. Her tragic car crash later that day mirrored the exact dream. Same flowers, same setup. Her mother later found the journal entry. Case 2. Reddit story, Drowning Premonition. A man shared on Reddit that he dreamed he was underwater, struggling, watching someone drown. He felt helpless. The next morning, he learned his best friend had died in a boating accident. Overnight, around the same time he had the dream. He hadn't seen the friend in weeks, and there were no prior signs of danger. Case 3. Abraham Lincoln's Dream. Yes, even the US president had a death-predicting dream. Abraham Lincoln reportedly told a close friend that he dreamed of walking through the White House to find a casket surrounded by mourners. When he asked who had died, a guard in the dream replied, "The president." Days later, Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater. His wife and aides confirmed the dream. Case 4. Shared Dream, Father's Accident. A woman shared that both she and her mother dreamed, on the same night, that the father would die in a cycling accident. They dismissed it as coincidence, until 2 weeks later. He was hit and killed by a speeding driver while out on a bike ride. The details matched both of their dreams exactly. These stories aren't just eerie. They defy explanation. Are they chance? Or warnings we're meant to listen to? The first and most commonly believed explanation? These dreams are genuine premonitions, a psychic glimpse into the future. Some psychics and spiritual teachers believe that during REM sleep, we temporarily detach from the limits of time. Our consciousness can access future events through a nonlinear lens, like reading a book where every page exists at once. The Akashic Records, a concept from theosophy and various spiritual traditions, describe a metaphysical library of every soul's past, present, and future experiences. Dreams, especially vivid or lucid ones, might be our way of accessing this universal data. Scientific experiments have flirted with the idea, too. In the 1960s and 70s, the Maimonides Dream Lab conducted studies where participants seemed to receive accurate dream messages about images they hadn't seen, sometimes even predicting emotional events that hadn't occurred yet. While mainstream science remains skeptical, the anecdotal evidence is hard to ignore. And those who've lived through it, they'll tell you, it didn't feel random. It felt like a message. Skeptics offer a different explanation. According to psychologists, dreams are the brain's way of processing emotional data, especially threats. This is called subconscious pattern recognition. Your waking mind might miss subtle signs. A loved one's unusual behavior, risky habits, subtle health issues. But your subconscious catches it, stitches the clues together, and plays out the most dramatic version while you sleep. In other words, your brain isn't predicting the future. It's calculating the most likely outcome and sending a warning. Add in confirmation bias, where we only remember the dreams that match real-life events, and you have a more grounded explanation. But that still doesn't explain the dreams with zero logical link, like the drowning dream, or Lincoln's funeral dream, or those involving strangers. For those, even psychology struggles to find answers. In many cultures, dreams are not just internal hallucinations, they're spiritual gateways. One popular theory is that some of these dreams are visitations, messages from the dead or spirits who come to warn the living. In Filipino culture, if a dead relative appears in your dream and tells you something serious, it's often seen as a prophecy. In Haitian Vodou, spirits commonly appear in dreams to deliver urgent warnings. In Celtic belief, banshees are said to visit dreams before a death in the family. Take this story. A woman dreamed her late grandfather stood at the foot of her bed and whispered, "He's coming with me soon." 1 week later, her brother died in his sleep. Are these warnings from loved ones, or echoes of energy we don't understand? This next one, it gets weird. Some theorists suggest we live in a multiverse, with infinite versions of ourselves across infinite timelines. Each time we dream, we might be accessing a timeline where an event already occurred, and bringing back that memory. This fits with the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics, the idea that every choice creates a new branch of reality. So when you dream of a fatal car crash or funeral, you may be accessing a version of your life where it already happened, a different outcome, bleeding into your subconscious. There are thousands of accounts where people dreamed of accidents that almost happened, and then narrowly avoided them. Some believe their dream self died in one timeline, and they shifted to another. It's not science fiction anymore. It's one of the most fascinating possibilities in dream research. Across time, humanity has treated death dreams as sacred messages. In ancient Egypt, dreaming of death or burial rituals was seen as a divine message from Anubis, the god of the afterlife. Egyptian dream books even had symbols to interpret what each type of death dream meant. In the Bible, Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams to predict famine, and he's right. In many indigenous cultures, death in dreams isn't seen as negative, but transformational, often symbolizing rebirth or soul transitions. We've only recently started dismissing dreams as random, but for most of human history, they were messages you couldn't afford to ignore. So what does science say? While there's no proof dreams can literally predict the future, researchers have confirmed. The brain is highly active during REM, especially in emotional centers like the amygdala. Dreams are more vivid under stress, illness, or hormonal change. Many people report dreaming something before it happens, often about emotional or traumatic events. A 2014 study found that 60% of participants reported at least one dream that seemed to come true. Some dismissed it. Others said it changed their beliefs forever. Science may not have all the answers, but it's clear that our dreams are doing more than just processing random noise. Let's look at some of the eeriest death dream stories shared online. Reddit user: I dreamed I was holding my cat and crying. She was gone. I woke up, she seemed fine. That night, she passed suddenly in her sleep. Another user: I always dream of black water before someone close to me dies. I've had it 3 times now, and every time, someone passes within 48 hours. And a personal friend of mine told me, my brother came to me in a dream and said goodbye. I didn't know he had died that night until I woke up to a call. Hundreds of stories just like this, and still no one really knows why. Are death dreams just coincidence? Premonitions? Messages from beyond? A peek into parallel realities? Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure. People from every background, every culture, and every generation have had these dreams, and far too many come true. Maybe our dreams are smarter than we think. Maybe they're trying to warn us, if only we'd listen. Have you ever dreamed of someone dying, and then it happened? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe and check out our video on why you keep waking up at 3:33 a.m. See you in the next one, if you can sleep tonight.